So objective number 1 is all about confidence. Did I say sales? What did I say? So it is not about selling the people you know. It is about you gaining confidence to explain what you do. Period. The second objective, what do you think the second objective is? You're sitting down with them, you're gaining confidence. What else do you think we want you to get out of this process? Practice, training, that all comes into confidence for sure. What else? Closing, so a sale. I think that's the most important. What are you trying to build here, guys? Think about this. What are you building with Combine?
Trust.
Not with the individual. I'm not talking about the individual. I'm saying, what are you trying to build with Combine?
Trust.
A business, right? What does a business require? Inventory. What is inventory? People. Now, what's more important? Jennifer, because I know Jennifer, or the fact that Jennifer can lead me to 100 other Jennifers? What are you trying to build here? Will your business survive if Jennifer is your only customer? No. Let me put it to you that way. Will your business survive if Jennifer is your only customer?
No.
Only if Jennifer continues to pay $1 million a year. Make sense? So, it's not about selling them. And please don't take this the wrong way. It's about the referrals they can give you. How many people had a different approach? No, maybe let me wear this properly. How many of you saw Combine differently once you went through training than you did before you started? Because you now learned how the products worked and how they provide for people. Does that make sense? For example, the first business overview that you came to, you heard that Combine Insurance was an insurance company. What was your view in your own mind about what Combine was versus what you learned afterwards? Was it a different perspective?
Yes.
Yeah, because you learned that we aren't your traditional life and investment company. We are predominantly trying to go out there and protect the most valuable asset a person has, their ability to what? Protect their income, earn their income, right? Now, think about it from this perspective. Everyone you know, when you tell them I represent Combine Insurance now, they are naive because they don't know what Combine is versus Sun Life, what Combine is versus Great West Life, what Combine is versus a broker. So their assumption could be that you do car insurance. Their assumption could be that you only do life insurance. Their assumption could be that you only do investment funds. How do you change their assumption? What's the only way you can change their perspective? To show them. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Now, has anyone in this room ever recommended or endorsed something that you didn't first understand? Perfect example. Have you ever told someone you should really go watch this movie having never watched it yourself? You haven't, right? Hey man, this movie came out. Can you go check it out to tell me how it is? Is that weird? Yeah. No, you would never recommend a movie that you didn't necessarily see, that you saw, and you thought was good, and you said, hey, listen, I thought this movie was good. You should go check it out. Because you first did what? Saw it. So if you expect the people you know to refer you to people that you don't know without understanding what you do, you're crazy. And the only way for you to be able to get their support in communicating with the people they know is to sit them down, explain what you do, gain your confidence, show them how we differ from everything they assume you do, and now they're more inclined to talk to those people, yes or yes?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So objective 1 is selfishly for you to gain confidence. Objective 2 is how many people do you know that know other people that have a high need for what we provide? And I guarantee you, the list is large. But the only way for you to get to it is for them to first see what you do. Lastly, it's about education and potential sales. That is the area and the order that it goes in. I'm not sitting here saying we want you to work in your warm market because all we want is a bunch of sales. No, we want you to work in your warm market so you can confidently explain better what you do. And then you can turn what you have, what you know, into a business because other people will be able to refer you to the market that you need to get to. It's not just about selling the people you know. That old adage of a bird in the hand is better than a bunch in the bush is not true when your inventory is a larger number than one. Does that also make sense? Okay? So think of it this way. If everyone you know knows a minimum of 50 people, and you know 50 people, how many people can you get in front of just from the 50 people you know? 250. If those 250 people know 50 people, how many people are you in front of now? You start to see how it expands out, but it all starts with you making the decision under no obligation to sit with the people you know to educate them on what you're doing now under no obligation. Under no obligation. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay? So, remember that this is the priority it works in, so we in no way, shape, or form are trying to steal someone's market and all that kind of fun stuff. Okay? We're okay with this? This is the first step to really understanding how we work a warm market effectively. Good? So, very quick, it's important that you're always doing a list. You want to be doing a warm market list on a regular basis because is it fair to say that you meet new people every single week? You also forget people that you used to know that come out of the woodworks. Just like Ray was saying at the 90-day blitz, you may have gotten some like Happy New Year texts from people you forgot you knew. Right? That's a great opportunity for you to reconnect. Hey Jennifer, Happy New Year to you too. You know, I'd love to grab a coffee and catch up. It's been years. You know what I mean? Great opportunity. Again, you can take this time, this opportunity, to go back through all those people you haven't communicated with in years and do that. Reach out. Hey Jennifer, Happy New Year. I got to thinking about you the other day. I would love to get together and grab a coffee. Even if they text you back saying, who is this? You're now starting what? Conversation, dialogue. And that's what better way with no agenda to reach out to somebody. Never prejudge. So how do we call these people? This is crucial. This is where a lot of people have some issues. Because you're walking a fine line. Remember what we said. Your objective is to gain confidence, which means you want to sit with them. Your objective is also to educate them on what you do so they can lead you to other people, and also to educate them on what they may or may not have in the event that, God forbid, something happens to them and they find out the hard way as opposed to being prepared. Does that make sense? So how do we walk that fine line? Well, some people want to reach out and ask for a favor, and that's fine, but what you have to understand is that there can become some awkwardness in calling a favor. If all I wanted to do was gain the confidence, and I reach out to, Tony, and I call out Tony, and I say, hey Tony, it's Mike Greco calling. Hey listen, I just started with a new company called Combine. One of the things they've asked me to do is memorize a short presentation. We really use your help. If you're under no obligation, can I sit with you and you give me some feedback on what I do? He might say, yeah, no problem. But the problem is, at some point, if I want to actually call the question, Tony, are you interested? Tony might say, whoa, I thought this was just a favor. Does that make sense? Okay? The second thing is, a lot of people sometimes come across too bold. Hey Jennifer, how are you? Listen, I'm in the insurance industry now. I'd like to come over and sell you something. Right? So where's the in-between? What I learned is that you can get an appointment by getting someone to commit to telling you no. That is the key. So as an example, here's the scripting that I use when I'm talking to a warm market. If I'm calling Martin, hey Martin, how are you? It's Mike Greco calling. Listen, I just completed a training program with a company called Combine. Now, if this isn't the case, if you're not brand new, then you could just say, hey, I'm not sure if you're aware, but I'm representing a company called Combine. Okay? Because it doesn't matter. If you haven't talked to them, it doesn't matter. Does that make sense? So I call Martin. Hey Martin, how are you? Listen, I'm representing a company called Combine now, and one of the things that I really want to do is oh wait, hang on. No, give me a sec, guys. Bear with me. I tweaked this. This is the old one. And no, that is right. Sorry, I'm losing my mind. Whew. So rewind, and oh, here we go. We'll just edit that, right? We'll edit that. Okay. All right. So I need your help. I really value your opinion. Would like the opportunity to sit down with you and your wife, or your spouse, or whoever, to show you how our company can help you. Now, before I do, I want to ask: if I show you what we do, and for some reason you don't like it or it's not the right fit, do you have the confidence to tell me you're not interested? This gets you a long way. Okay? So if I call up Zenny, and it doesn't need to be like this wordy. If I call up Zenny and say, hey Zenny, how are you? It's Mike Greco calling. Listen, I'm working with a company called Combine right now. I really thought of you with the types of programs that our company offers. I'm coming by at some point in time because I got to show it to you. But before I do, listen to how I'm talking, okay? Before I do, I want to ask you, if I show it to you, for some reason you don't like it, it's not the right fit, are you confident enough to tell me you're not interested? And he goes, absolutely. I'll tell you more than I'm not interested. Okay, great. Okay? That's not Zenny. Okay. But you get the idea? What am I doing in that blurb? How am I approaching this? What am I confidently assuming? I'm assuming that I'm coming over, okay? I don't ask if it's okay. I'm assuming that I'm coming over. What's the other thing I tell them in here? That I'm going to show them something, and that I'm going to ask, I'm going to call the question. But instead of trying to pitch them an opportunity to look at something, I'm getting them to commit to telling me no before I arrive. Are you more inclined to commit to something where the expectation is a no than a